Greg, let's call the meeting to order. Please rise and pledge the flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Orthwein.
Here.
Vice Mayor Stanley,
Here.
Mr. Lyons,
Here.
Mayor Morgan.
Here.
Let it also be on the record that Town Manager Dunham, Town Attorney Trey Nazaro, Chief Allen, and myself are also present.
Thank you very much. We've been presented with the minutes from the regular meeting on October 14th and the special meeting October 28th. Are there any changes, corrections, or comments? If not, is there a motion to approve?
My move to be accepted as presented.
Second.
Renee?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein. Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes. Mr. Dunham, any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, there are. So under items for commission action, the first ordinance 22.7, ordinance 22.8, we are postponing until.
Right, the December meeting, when we do second reading for any ordinance, there's an advertising requirement that needs to be done 10 days in advance. And because we didn't have our meeting when it was scheduled, we just need to push those off to the December meeting, re-advertise so we can actually adopt them.
So that's 22.7 and 22.8?
Correct, the two.
Are removed from the agenda. We'll keep 22.11 and the resolutions.
But in addition to that, I'm adding an item on here under items for commission action. And if you want to just make it number 1, that is presenting our bid results for the fencing for the public works area in the back that you guys had authorized us to do. So it was at a number that we needed to bid it out and bring it to the commission.
All right, so we'll add that as under 10B, B1.
It's replacing 10A. He's taking
No, 10A is still on. That's the security cameras.
it's coming off.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's off?
Yes, so
yes.
this is replacing 10.
All right, so then this is 10A will be the bid results. Okay,
And we're moving the security cameras to the December meeting.
okay. All right, good. So anything else?
I believe that's it.
Very good. Our next meeting will be December 9th, 9 a.m. for anyone who wishes to attend. Public comment, anyone wish to speak? Very good. Moving on. We're going to move to a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak today on the applications, please rise and be sworn. Any ex parte communications?
Mayor, on item 1, I'm going to recuse myself from voting last time.
Okay, item 1, that's 2775 Avenue La Soleil.
Correct.
All right, Mr. Stanley's recused. Very good. Let's move on then to that application, 2775. Who's going to present? Yes, sir.
Good morning. My name is Nicholas. I'll be speaking on behalf of Shane Ames of Ames International Architecture. Just a little recap from our previous meeting. This is the first house you see as you come up on Avenue Al Soleil. It'll be a 6,900 square foot home, the colonial West Indies style. What was brought up last time was the kind of features, colors, and that were represented in the renders, which I have some examples here, which I'm going to pass by with everybody. Take a look.
So can you?
Yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah. So the dark wood would be represented with the front door and the garage. The white is for the framing, and then the paint swatches is of the house color and the shutters themselves. If you could scroll down to the next sheet. and just zoom in on the renders, if possible. Control. and then-
Just to confirm, the columns are going to be white, the frames of the windows are going to be white.
Correct. Yeah.
That used to be copper.
Right.
Bronze. Yeah.
Or bronze. Yeah.
The dark brown is the door.
The door and the
Front
garage
door.
door.
The front door and the
Garage
garage door. Mhm.
Yeah, the colors on the door, the garage door and the front door are a little brighter than what.
A little sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just the screen, but
Right.
okay. And the outlookers as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. That's pretty much her.
Well, the last time this was presented, we had a number of comments and recommendations
Yes.
to you. Could you just address those very?
Yeah, so special exception removed. We took out the 300 square feet. We took out slices every so often out of the house. It didn't really change how you look at the house from the front, but it's more depth wise. And then we took into consideration the comments in regarding the color of the columns. Initially, we had them like in a tile textured, which you guys weren't a fan of. So we readjusted it with the ARPB and got it to be just to match the color of the house, which is that one paint swatch there.
Yeah.
The garage door, I think, was also an issue with the color and the front door. So now we made them kind of represent the style of colonial West Indies.
You know, you addressed, the front door was all glass and now it's.
Yeah, so it was originally all glass. Now we have it, 2/3, 1/3 a setup. 2/3 glass, 1/3 panel.
And with the shutters, and I forget the term, under the eave,
The outlookers?
Mhm.
Mhm.
You added, you only had a few and now you have.
Yeah, we had a couple on the corners and then now we just had them spread out more often. More often.
I have a
than
couple
becoming.
questions, man.
Yes, please.
On the door, what percentage of the door, if going from the top to the bottom, is glass? I'm trying to get the proportion.
If scroll down to there's another render that's kind of more head on, if you don't mind. It should be the next one. It's 2/3 glass, 1/3 the wood panel. If that clears it up a little bit.
There are several doors like that in Gulfstream.
But it's framed in wood.
Mhm.
Right. The pitch of the roof, I
Mhm.
think it's 612. I had a hard time reading the plans.
Mhm.
What is the pitch?
It is 612, yeah.
And so the only, by the way, I think it's, in terms of context of the code,
Mhm.
It fits much better.
Yeah.
The one thing that the ARPB, there was some comment about the color of the door. Somebody used the term it jumps out. And I was looking at the code
Mhm.
and let me, bear with me, I gotta.
No worries.
Okay, garages
Mhm.
are elements which should be integrated with the principal building.
Mhm.
I'm not sure that it gets totally integrated with the contrast in colors.
It-
Garage doors should not dominate the front elevation, and I
Mhm.
think the color tends to highlight the garage.
Mhm.
And I don't think a garage is a particularly attractive element in any house.
No.
And in fact, in houses of, I forget how many square feet, but you have to actually put the garage to the side.
Mhm.
And just indicated why most people don't want garages sort of hitting you.
Exactly.
So I'm just not crazy about the color of the garage door.
Mhm.
I don't know how others feel, but I think it maybe emphasizes too much of the garage and takes away from the continuity of the house.
Well,
That's-
if I could, I guess, rebuttal that, the garage is technically not facing the front. If you're head on looking at the house, you wouldn't really see it. It's mainly the front door and, you know, these elements that come at you. And if you drive up, as you first come in into Al Saleh, you wouldn't really see it either because we have that hedging that's existing that covers most, if not all of it. If I think the last render, you can see the hedging coming at the bottom.
I mean, I'm on the fence on this. I'm
Mhm.
inclined to want to see it white. But given the changes you've made, the fact it's, and help me understand, so, because this house is one of the first houses you see when
Mhm.
you're driving across the lake. So the bottom line is you drive in, you're not necessarily going to see that garage popping out at.
No. If you want to go maybe to the site plan, and if not, I didn't actually draw it. If you don't mind going to the landscape plan that I have.
I tried to figure that out, I just couldn't see it from the plans.
Go one down, the next sheet, or the first sheet, I'm sorry. So there's an existing hedge that's 10 to 12 feet tall over there, and it's gonna cover pretty much, as you drive in from Avenue Al Saleh, all this, so you wouldn't see any of it. We're just taking out a little bit of portion just for the new proposed driveway, which would be minimal in comparison. And then the existing, I believe oak trees there are pretty much buffering that view of any little bit of the house. It's mostly just filtered little maybe patches that you'll see.
And just a comment to the commission, Mr. Canfield on the ARPB lives directly across the street from this. And he was happy. He
Okay.
made his expressions that he liked.
Any other comments? No. No. I actually like the garage door.
That's why we have a commission.
On this design, because it ties in with the rest of the wood, and because the house does not have what would be traditional shutters on the left and right side of the windows. So I kind of like the way that would, and I think you would just, I don't know that you can't see it, but you're just going to glance it. I think it ties the house together. So that's my 2 cents. Any other comments? If not, is there a motion?
I'll move to approve the level 3 site plan review to allow the construction of a new 6970 square foot colonial West Indies single family home with a 2-car garage and swimming pool. Is that what we need?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Ms.
Commissioner
Bennett?
Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley.
He's recused.
Oh, my fault. Mayor Morgan.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, let's move on to the next application, which is 996 Pelican Lane.
Sorry, just saw something else. Yeah.
Do you need to get that put together for the application? Or are you ready to go? Oh, sorry.
I'm just guessing which presentation you want.
Okay. I want to make sure you had it together.
There's basically one is all the drawings and then the other three are just renderings of the house.
Okay, so good morning.
Good morning. We're here again, long time. Just we want to recap a little bit, all the process that we have gone through. First, the site issues that we had it was 2 parcels and all that has been in process. And as far as I know, today was the last hearing, or was supposed to be Thursday, that, the properties were annexed. So now we have one big property instead of 2 parcels. So that basically took away the need of variances. We're not requesting any variances for this 2-story, a little bit short of the 3,000 square feet, 2,900 square feet, 2-car garage, Anglo-Caribbean style. In addition to that, just to recap, we have gone through, this process once, and we got a lot of, input from the board and recommendations to add to the house, details, bandings, siding, and to make it more traditional Anglo-Caribbean. And we have gone also through, meetings with the staff and the ARPB, with all the recommendations, and we have implemented all the recommendations to the house, reducing square footage, adjusting, meeting all the setback requirements, adding all the details that was requested. We also adjusted the roof slope to a 5 and 12 instead of a 4 and 12 that we had before. If you want to scroll down to the elevations, if it's possible. Here we have the front and the rear elevation. As you can see, roof slope have changed. We have added mullions and shutters and reduced the amount of glass. That was a recommendation from the staff and from ARPB. As you can see, we have, and if we go to the 2 more slides, those are the side elevations. We have added, additional shutters, mullions, front door on the sides as well. So you can see all the detailing, bands around the windows on top. We increased the window sills and the headers. So if you want to open the renderings to have a look on the house more in a 3D perspective. Here we have the house from a street point of view, where we see all the shutters that we added, mullions, bandings around the windows, the siding on the 2nd floor, etc. Basically, all the inputs from the owner, staff, commission, and ARPB. And we're seeking for approval so we can build this beautiful house. As a matter of, well, just as probably and you saw the report from ARPB, we got full approval from them. So
You changed that back rear railing to.
yeah. Oh, sorry. There's another. There was another. There should be another one with the proper with the railing. That one. That is the railing. It's gonna go in the back.
It's like the one on the front.
Right,
Yeah,
so it matches the front.
It does. We had actually preferred to do what the commission allowed in the August 12th, 10th meeting with, I don't know, another house that was like a 7,000 or 8,000 square foot house with the glass, railing. They had like maybe 5 or 6 swatches of 16-foot glass panels that the commission approved. And we had preferred to just put in like, 4-foot sections, because that's just a small, patio or deck up there. But the commission and the ARPB, really preferred us to do it this way. So, we agreed on that.
Yeah, you made quite a few changes to the home, which has improved its appearance, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's also brought it in conformity with the code.
You got that too, right?
I have one question.
Sure.
One I asked on the other application, what's the pitch of the roof for this?
5 and 12.
And I had raised the subject of the pitch before.
Mhm.
Part of the reason maybe it's just the elevation, the way it presents itself.
Yeah, on the rendering, since you're always looking a little bit more from the bottom, you don't see the true, if you go to the actual elevation, you see the roof pitch.
Right.
One of the reasons why we went with the 5 and 12, the house is very small. If you look at the footprint of the house, it's a small house. Here you can see, 5 and 12 is much more dramatic than what you see on the renderings.
Again, I'm referencing the code, so it's not my opinion.
Mhm.
And the code encourages 612
Mhm.
and discourages 512. So I guess my question is, why not go with 612?
One, because like I said, the house is a small house. Going with the 6 and 12, the roof will be too overpowering as an architectural feature.
Okay.
So basically, this roof will probably end up somewhere in here, and we'll start losing the second floor. So
It's more proportional is what you're saying.
it's over proportion, yes.
Well, no, but if you keep it at 512, it's
Exactly, yes. Mhm. Because it's a small house. We're not talking about, a 8,000 square foot
I
house. It's
understand.
only a 2,900 square foot house.
Yeah, it's a,
okay, now I get it.
And you moved it from 412.
We had it at 4 and 12, that I think that is the
minimum.
minimum allowed by the code, but we went to a 5 and 12 because it was adding that extra,
I recognize
texture.
that. I just wondering why you didn't go to what the code recommends.
That is mostly the reason, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the dock, the length of the dock. Have we checked to try to, this is a less than 100-foot lot, so I tried to find this in the code and wasn't able to clearly find it, but are the setbacks on both sides of the dock correct? with the
Yeah,
code?
is there, I don't think there's a dock on this application.
72-foot,
There is, I mean, that's not something that we typically approve on the commission level. So to the
Okay.
extent that they're requesting approval of a dock, we can just do that on a level one
Okay,
through staff, and they can submit it, and we'll exclude that from the
Yeah,
approval.
I think if we go to the site plan, I think we show the dock as a future dock because that has to be improved. And we do have 10-foot setbacks on each side for the dock at the moment. That is a graphic representation. This has to be drawn by,
okay.
a proper
And
engineer.
like I said,
go through
we
the
can
code.
process that on this, no, we can
No.
process that very quickly and easily on a level one without any board, so.
Sherwood Landing is not in the maps and the code that have each lot in the core map. It's just that's just because that has pictures. This is just it's a separate part of the code. Yeah.
But we can easily work on this.
I believe they do have a chart with each lot. I don't know if that's I don't think that's gonna be changed based on the frontage being different perhaps, but we'll,
There might be an adjustment.
right.
There's no dock there now. correct?
There is no dock.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I think so.
Mhm.
Just a
There's
cap.
another dock down there.
Yeah, there's one when immediate neighbors both have that.
Yeah.
What's the special exception, the 96 square feet?
That is the additional open space, roof, unenclosed space. We're requesting that special exception that based on the code, we can go up to 300 square feet. We're requesting only 97 square feet. There is a request that for every square foot that we are requesting, it has to be 2 square feet. We comply with that as well.
Can you?
Just where is it though?
It's gonna be here in this back. This is the covered area on the first floor. There is the loggia and also the front area. Those are the 2 areas. That are basically an open porch and the covered front entry.
Any other comments? Any motions?
Sure.
Do you want
Yeah, I can do it. This is in regard to 996 Pelican Lane. First motion is a motion to approve a demolition permit to demolish the existing structure on site.
Second?
Ms. Benson?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley,
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes.
Second motion is a motion to approve a land clearing permit to clear existing vegetation from the building site.
Second?
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley,
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes.
Third motion is to approve a special exception under section 70-72B to increase the maximum permitted FAR of 96 square feet for the front and the enclosure.
Second.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes.
Fourth motion is a motion to approve a level 3 architectural site plan review to permit the construction of a new 3,698 square foot, 2-story Anglo-Caribbean style, single-family dwelling with 2-car garage, 4 bedrooms, bonus room, covered loggia, and swimming pool.
Second. Do we have to name all these 3 things here?
We do have
We have
some
our
conditions as well.
The conditions.
Conditions.
Can we just say we include conditions 1, 2, and 3?
Ask your attorney.
Okay, Tom's reading.
So, and
Hold on.
Mr. Stanley, I would ask,
The motion is subject to the following conditions.
and before you get to the first condition, let me just ask that you exclude the demolition permit from the first condition. I think they want to go ahead and move forward with that, but with the annexation ordinance pushed to December because of the advertising requirements, it's going to hold things up. So it'd be nice for them to be able to apply for the demolition permit, I think, and move forward. And I think that, we heard the annexation ordinance on first reading. Everyone was in favor. This project is being approved, conditioned on that. I think that it's a foregone conclusion that that will be approved, but I don't necessarily want to hold up Mr. Pahota, given that the project has been kind of ongoing. So again, for condition number 1, just prior to applying for any permits related to these approvals, except for the demolition permit.
Okay.
Got it. So, motion 3, or the motion to approve the level 3 architectural site plan review is amended to be subject to the following conditions. But for the demolition permit, prior to applying for any permits related to these approvals, the applicant will record a unity of title for the parcels that are part of the town's annexation ordinance 22-8. Second condition, any minor modifications to the approved landscaping shall be submitted to the town manager for review and approval, and any major modifications shall be brought back to ARPB for review and approval prior to commencement of landscape.
And then there's a third one here.
Yeah, it's hiding from me. Third condition is prior to the issuance of certificate of occupancy or certificate of completion, the CO, the owner of the property shall prepare and record a deed restriction, which at a minimum shall provide that all roof projection areas required to remain unenclosed as per approval of this special exception shall remain so for as long as the structure is in existence or exceeds the maximum permissible FAR.
I'll second that.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley.
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I like your shutter color.
Good work.
Okay, town manager report, update on town hall tree replacement.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Next Monday, Anthony and I are taking a ride up to Clewiston, out past Bell Glade, to look at some trees. Anthony, did they tell you what kind of trees that?
They have
available?
Florida green buttonwoods, which was similar to what's there. They also have Florida oaks, various other Florida type of native trees that they have on site. He had so many that he couldn't just describe it all over the phone. So, and he says it's best to come in and just pick the specimen that we would want to have, other than just trying to go over it over the phone. So.
Large mature trees. three big-
Yes,
Yeah.
that's strictly all they do. They do a lot of installation in golf courses. They actually just finished doing one at the Jupiter Golf Course up in Jupiter last week. So, and it was
So
a
once
very
you
large
review
tree.
look at the trees, what's next?
One more time. I'm
What
sorry.
would you do after going up to look at the trees?
Once we decide on which tree we're going to choose, we mark it, we pay them for it. They come and do an assessment on the site where he's got to bring it, check the route, how to get here, and then do the installation of it, because they do all of it all at one time.
Okay, well, silver buttonwood is significantly different.
Well,
Well,
not a silver
Florida-
buttonwood, it's a green buttonwood.
A green button.
Yes, sir. Yeah, silver buttonwood it has a silverish leaf like
Yeah.
Yes.
the one as you're going out the main drive here on Ocean and Sea Road.
Yeah,
On
I'm
your
sorry,
right-hand
I didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I just heard the buttonwood and figured it
Yeah.
was silver. Okay, I
But
mean,
you
my
got-
preference is an oak, my
Yeah.
preference, but
Do you have a picture? I mean,
I won't have anything
You'll
until we
snap
get
some
out there to
pics.
see exactly what they have,
So,
because everything that's on the
what is
site.
it? What tree is this in front of us? Is that a ficus?
No,
What is
that's
it?
not-
That's a green buttonwood.
the one right.
Okay.
The one right here in
Yeah, I
front,
know
there used to be the
what
mailbox there next to it.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
green
I
button.
remember
Well, I
that.
like
Yeah.
that tree. so.
Yeah.
I don't
But
have
he's
to-
very limited on those as far as
I like
size.
oak. I think it differentiates the other trees around here. It's stately. But, you know, that's
Well, I
can
can
turn into a magnificent tree as well. So it probably depends on which one looks.
Well,
Well, that's the reason why I want to take Mr. Gray with. I mean, I could have went and done it myself, but I'd rather have him go with me so
Yeah.
that way he can make the phone call and if he can text the number, pictures of it to you guys, so that way you can
Right.
look at it and make a decision if you want as a whole, you can, while we're there, so that way we know what we're doing.
Okay.
I think that would be nice, actually, because I agree. I like both trees, but I like oaks too. I mean, but I like what looks good. I like what looks good, but
Yeah.
I like oaks too.
The thing is that certain ones, depending on what the effect of the hurricanes that we've had in the past have done to any of the ones that he still has still growing now, because he has new stock being brought in and he's installing those as they come in. So he gets them from different places. He doesn't tell me where he gets them from, but.
Is there one that's hardier than, because there's a lot of wind that comes through here,
That's good.
a
Yeah.
lot. I mean,
That's good.
As much as I hate to say the word oak, I don't prefer oak myself, but it's a really strong tree. It's hard
Green
to,
buttonwood is more salt tolerant,
Yeah.
better in these conditions. We'll see which one looks better.
Yeah.
You know, the spec-
I think that's
just something that's going to
probably
be
the way to go.
full and nice to replace what was there would
Yeah.
be beneficial than having
whatever,
nothing.
almost
so.
the biggest
Yeah,
one.
whatever looks best.
So the commission, if you remember, gave us a $12,000 ceiling on that. So
Mhm.
that's what we'll be looking at, trees in that
Well,
range.
may I propose, that obviously, if you see something you think is right and it's more than that, you come back and ask. I hate to say no on.
Oh, yeah.
12,500.
The only problem I see with that is that if when we get there and we like the tree, if we don't give them a deposit on it without your approval first, that tree may go, because he says it don't last long. Whatever they have that's full and it's nice, they have vendors that come out and snatch them up from them right away. So the stuff that's on the website is not even no longer there. It's been gone a long
Do
time.
you foresee an issue with the $12,000 limit?
I don't think so, because he says he has quite a few that he still has in stock, and plus he has stuff that's coming in. It just depends on what size we're looking for and the actual thickness of the tree that we're looking for.
I'm fine with deferring it to the mayor. You don't need to call me and show me pictures. I don't want to hold up the process and lose the
Okay.
tree because of some.
I mean, you can send a text to all of us.
Right.
And
Is
you
there
know,
anything
whoever
wrong with
can
group
respond
text?
quickly.
Yeah, no, we
I know, I was
can't
gonna
do
say,
that.
wait, but legally, I don't think they can group
Yeah, we
text
can't do
us.
I
I
mean,
don't think.
No, it can be individual texts.
I don't know, can it?
Sure.
If you want to provide one of you with the authority to make that decision, we can do that.
You're the mayor.
Other than that, we.
We're gonna have, we appoint the mayor, green buttonwood or. I don't think a laurel oak is the right tree though. Should be a live oak or green buttonwood.
Should we let the
Okay,
mayor?
So we,
got-
I don't know, Mr. Stanley seems to be well versed in trees. So I say we refer to Mr.
Are you
Stanley.
making yourself the candidate, Mr. Stanley?
I was in the nursery business first.
You know, there are a lot of trees out in wherever
Yeah,
it is.
we're gonna let
out
the vice mayor
just
make
give
this
them
decision.
some
All right.
I know, that's what-
what about the Stanley Ranch?
There are a lot
We
of
have
oak
plenty of
trees.
live oaks. I think it's a little cheaper though than to go out there and just, use a spade to get them on the low boy. It's a little bit better at the tree farm. We used to have a field nursery out there too. I know that as well.
All right, well, so that's what we're gonna do.
So do we have
So,
flexibility?
the vice mayor's in charge.
In the cost, I mean, if it's, let's say it's
Yeah.
13,000.
Yeah, if you see one that's 13 and it's,
Right.
magnificent,
Okay.
then give Mr. Stanley a call, send him a picture and,
Okay.
we'll
Is
see what
that
we do.
price all in installed? Is that what they?
No, that's the thing that we need to find out from them when we get there, what the cost of the tree is, plus the cost of
Transportation.
transporting it and the installation, because that, he didn't disclose any of that over the phone with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Because your 12,000 was including.
That was
everything.
included, yeah.
Right.
Okay, all right, let's move on to Blue Water Cove update.
Okay, so just real quick here, that, for for the upgrades to the guardhouse, we felt like that needed to come before the ARPB and the town commission because of the significance of the entry to one of our neighborhoods. And so that's on the ARPB meeting this
Thursday.
week.
Mhm.
And so that would be coming to the town commission in December.
Okay,
They originally said they wanted to start work on that on December 1st, and I said, probably not a good idea. It's kind of like what they call the Christmas holidays. So anyway, so that's that. And CIP update, I think, did did we make a copy of this for them? Okay, so the project schedule, the 60% design submittal is due December 9th. The 90% design submittal is due February 21st, 100% design submittal and permitting is April 6th, and the bidding is scheduled for July 5th. So that's the latest update on our CIP project.
all right, very good. Any questions? All right, if not, next ARPB meeting is November 17th at 8:30 for anyone who wishes to attend. Finance and budget reports.
Yes, sir. So you have your financial highlights here. I will say that as Ms. Tu has told you in her comments, revenues and expenses for the fiscal year will continue to be allocated to fiscal year 2022 until November 30th. That happens every year. And then later we have the resolution 2213, which is a budget adjustment to accommodate Delray and Highland Beach permit revenue totals. That's later on the agenda.
Any questions? Very good. Chief, police report.
Requested the DMV report be submitted. I do have a couple of things that came up this week. Interest. One was Mr. Delafield's car was located. We were notified on November 8th of that. It was in the middle of getting ready for hurricane. But the car was located by the Broward Sheriff's Office. It's been impounded to the towing company currently. The only thing we know about it was that the VIN plate had been changed on it. And that's likely why it was such a delay in being located. Other than that, we also had a burglary auto at the Baton Tennis Club on Saturday. A gentleman playing tennis left his keys and wallet and cell phone in the car, and when he came back, the ball was gone. There was a delay in it because he didn't realize that until he got home and had to come back and make a report on it. We did get off of one of the cameras down that way. We did get a picture of the car. He was driving a BMW, that was a rental car. Problem with rental cars are is one guy rents it and a dozen others drive it around. You never know who has it. And also the rental companies are not very forthcoming with information for it. A little hard to do, especially when it's not their loss. We're working on that, trying to find out some more details. And the camera that we got most of the information off of is one of Delray that's home. Where we get the information from.
All right, very good. Questions?
I just a comment. On Sunday, you had placed a vacant police car at the golf club. I think that was a good proactive thing after that happened.
Yeah, they do that periodically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do it every day and we could
Yeah.
let people know what you're doing. You gotta spread it around.
All right, thank you, Chief. All right, let's move on to ordinance 22/11. I'm sorry, let's go to the bid results for the fencing. Sorry.
Yes. Again, by your authority, we did go out for bids for fencing the area behind Town Hall. And you can see them in the little staff report presented to you. We had 3 bids. The highest was $45,000. The lowest was $29,000. I would like Anthony to kind of fill you in about what all this cost covers. It does have a gate, 2 gates, actually.
It's got a cantilever gate that's going to be opening and closing automatically in the evenings with the clicker from every vehicle that's going to be allowed to go in and out of there. It has a loop system that's on the inside, the interior section of the actual gate. Once it's closed, anyone that's locked inside will be able to pull up to it. It opens automatically and then it closes again on its own. During the day, it's allowed to be left open. It has a programming system on it. It runs on solar controls. So it won't be any electrical systems connected to it. It's all independent, solar panels and everything. So it's going to be hanging above the ground, so it won't rest on the ground. It has 2 pinwheels that holds the actual main gate itself up in the air, suspended, and then it runs out and then it comes back in and it closes. The lift station has a double 8-foot gate, so Boynton can get into their lift station. And then there's going to be a pedestrian walk entrance on the side of the building next to where the hedges and the transformers and stuff are at, over on that side. And then the remaining fencing is 674 linear feet of fencing.
What's this going to look like?
It starts on the edge of the back of the building here. When you're facing the north, it starts there, goes behind the generator, kind of snakes behind to where the trees are, and then it follows suit all the way to the end, to the north on the east side. Then it shoots across the north side next to where there's an old fence in the back now from the young lady that was back there. Then it comes all the way over to the golf course and it comes up. Then it staggers out a little bit because of a big tree that's there. We had to stump grind the bottom of it so I can get around it. And then it has to come in front of the lift station so the doors can be open and closed in front of the lift station and have access to that. And then it stops right in front of where the actual gas tank containers are. That's the concrete slab that's in the property on our side, on the east side of the entrance going to the back. And that section is going to have the doors where it's going to be the cantilever door, and it's going to be operating on the west side of the actual building.
What color is it and how high is it?
It's going to be a 6-foot black vinyl cased fence, chain link fence.
Chain link fence or
Chain link.
It's chain link that has black vinyling like what was there originally, but it was so old and
We
fell
have
over
screening
and just
for it.
corroded.
Yeah.
Yeah, how much of it is exposed visually?
What's here in front, and then a partial section of it would be from wherever the golf course's buffer is, coming back this way to the south. So it isn't a whole lot that's going to be
Right,
exposed.
so we'll screen it.
The only part that's not screened is right here. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the section right here in the front where we have the run overflow for when we have our meetings, that everyone parks, it's going to be, that section is going to be exposed.
Will you plant it out?
I'm sorry.
Will you plant it out or block it? And are we going to be
We
looking?
can put plants in front of it. It's not
We're
a
gonna
difficult
screen.
task.
Okay. That's like,
Most of it will already be screened.
okay.
Are you
Yeah.
going to screen anything else that would otherwise be visible?
Correct.
It's a service gate, so you're not going to have a decorative gate. I mean,
But the gate's going to be open during the day.
Right, during the day it's open and during the night, but we can put a screening that they can put over the actual fence, even if it's black, the same as what the fence is, and have it zip tied to it or wire tied to it. So that way, once it's open and it's exposed, then it's screened in. It's not something that's just a chain link fence.
I'm not sure that might not look as good as just leaving the.
Or just leaving it without it. I mean, you have either or
We'll see
options.
how it looks. I mean, I'm talking about the gate.
Okay.
I think just see how it looks, honestly,
Yeah.
and do it correctly.
Yeah.
Once you see,
Yeah.
once it's
'Cause
installed.
that other screening
A visual.
makes it look like it's a construction site.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's the kind of.
I
Yeah.
agree with that.
I kind of want to move a little more slowly on this, frankly. It seemed like we jumped at it. It's a great idea, but it's not only expensive, but I'm just wondering what it's going to look like and what the total value back is.
Is there a problem with people parking back there all the time, or how did,
No, I mean, we allow people, new construction, people
yeah.
to park back there,
But-
but.
they don't abuse it on weekends? I mean, they don't come to
No,
park
I
there.
mean, but we had some issues with the YouTubers that were just walking around back there.
Uh,
We have fuel and whatnot back there. The site should be secured at night.
Yeah, I mean, we
Store
have some,
stuff back there,
we have some
equipment.
expensive
Yeah.
toys, you
Yeah.
know.
But does that necessitate that large perimeter? I mean, can you limit the perimeter of fencing? Where you have assets that are at risk. I agree with the mayor. I think we need to, I'd like to see a site plan.
Okay, no,
Some pictures.
no, I see what you're saying. and-
That's what we
and-
do for
That's,
applicants.
that's a good idea. We'll perhaps,
I think the drawings are on some of the quotes that they have already given us that has the actual design of where they're gonna install it.
but I think we can come up, let's look at some alternative ways to do this.
Okay.
Because, I mean, if the idea is to keep somebody from driving one of our vehicles out of there, they're not gonna drive through those
Eureka Palms.
Eureka Palms.
I just think if you can do the fencing a little less, because they're not gonna be driving through the Little Club either. I mean, just where you can get in. Do you agree? I mean,
Well, you want to keep people out.
yeah,
I agree with
Yeah.
you too.
I mean, we
I was
did,
thinking cars.
as you guys know, I had people that were in the bushes and
But outside of that one occasion with the YouTubers, how frequently do we have trespassers?
I don't know at night.
Well, is that site supposed to, I mean, that's like our depots. That site's supposed to be secured for safety and insurance reasons,
Yeah.
even though we have sovereign immunity up to 300 these days.
No, I mean,
think
obviously it's a good point, just because it hasn't happened in the past, doesn't mean it won't happen.
Well, here's part of the problem that I see when I am back there. When they do park, now that that chain link fence has been taken down because it was in such bad shape, they're cutting through the hedges. They're
Oh,
walking right
really?
through it. Yeah. They're not going around. They see the opening. Oh, I'm not gonna go through there. I'm gonna go through here.
Yeah, I
It's
see
easier.
that.
Even though I've already told them not to, and they still do it.
Well, that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
My
and
word
I
doesn't mean anything to them,
guarantee
so
you,
it doesn't matter.
when our neighbors over here on the other side of the Eureka Palms start seeing that happening, well, they're going to be calling.
Well, and so just to add to this discussion, I did get approached by somebody at, what's the name of those townhouses? Kohler Ridge. And they were, for lack of a better term, complaining that all these utility trucks pointed east on the east side of this back area. And the trucks are running and they wake up in the morning and they hear the diesel trucks running and I don't know whether they actually hear, smell the odor. Somebody suggested they did. So I think that we need some proper screening there too, to deal with that objection.
Right, we are, and we're going to let the bushes that are on that
Correct.
side.
The only reason why they're able to see that stuff now, Mr. Lyons, is because I had them come in and cut all that perimeter completely back to clean it
I just want to be sure.
because
while
the
we're-
fencing was destroyed because of it. I
So we're
mean,
going to let those bushes on the outside grow taller.
Well, you want to defer this until you have another opportunity to review what would be a site plan that could be presented to us in a little more detail.
Yeah, I mean, we can bring it back in December.
Yeah, a month's not going to make a big difference.
I mean, we'll just have to see how good.
Okay.
How long.
Anthony, they were the low bidder. Are you happy with the low bidders?
they're actually a pretty large firm. They've done work for the sheriff's department, from my understanding. I've talked to a couple of people and they've done work for the state. So, I mean, it's not like, they don't know what they're doing. So,
And- Go ahead.
What clear direction you want to see a site plan for the whole project? Is that the
Well,
whole
what we'd
thing?
like to do is perhaps from your comments, maybe because it is screened, well, I don't know, if there's people actually walking through the Eureka's.
they weren't doing it before when the old fence, even when it was just hanging there, they weren't
So
going through it.
I
So
think
we
the-
need at
But it
least-
wasn't
I
secure.
think the issue is, what's the screening gonna look like on, we got basically three sides. You've got a residence to the north, you've got county, and then you've got the third hole on the Little Club golf course, which is important, not to just jam something in, which you're not gonna do.
Right.
And then I think the other thing is that, you're starting to get into expense. These gates aren't cheap. As Anthony knows the solar, but are you wanting a decorative gate? Somebody will probably run into it, but that's life.
I don't think the decorative gate's that important because
I don't think it's important.
it's open
During the
during the
day.
day. It's just at night when it's
just
closed,
closed
so
tonight.
I'd rather save a little money on that. Maybe
It's more of a
first-
commercialized style gate than anything else. It's not
Yeah.
even, from my understanding, the design, the way he showed it to me, that he illustrated what he had it's just a regular square framing that has
Yeah.
mesh on it that they put together
Like the chain
for the
link
length of
walls.
the fence that they need to
Yeah, I mean,
compensate.
throw cold water on it. It's just like, as Paul said, an application comes to us, all I see is numbers here. I don't
Right.
see how it's going to be installed, what it's going to look like, how high it is.
Right.
You've told me.
No,
that,
I
but
understand.
I'd just like to have more information before we
We'll come
approve
back
this.
with a better
Do they have
illustration.
drawings? I thought you said one time they have
They
drawings.
get some sketches.
Well, he had,
Sketches.
he
They
had,
have
he had
sketches.
pictures of it on his phone that he showed me that he's had installed, and that's what they were
It's an
looking
aerial
at.
photograph as well, where, like what we've done on the streets.
Right.
You just kind of
Yeah.
sketch it in, just so I have a better idea, at least for me, so I have a
Yeah.
better idea. of what-
I can ask him to give us a 3D drawing of it and see what it would look like as a whole.
Or even a picture from his phone.
And then on the north side, there is, as Anthony said, an old fence that's barely hanging on there that belonged to the resident of that house. And I've already had inquiries, people coming in here asking about that lot.
Oh, yeah.
What they potentially would like to do there.
A lot of interest in the lot.
Yeah.
Of course.
Maybe going.
So
Okay.
I would just defer
I bet
to.
there's a lot of it.
Yeah, let's just defer this to get a little more information.
Okay.
Great, thanks. Thank you very much. All right, let's move on to ordinance 22/11. Renee,
An ordinance of the Town Commission of the Town of Gulfstream, Palm Beach County, Florida, amending the Town Code of Ordinances, Chapter 34, Utilities, Article 2, Water Service, Section 34-37, Field Visit Charge to adjust the fee for a field visit charge, providing for repeal of ordinances in conflict, providing for codification, providing an effective date, and for other purposes.
thank you. We discussed this last time. Are there any questions? If not, ordinance number 22/11 has been presented to us on first reading. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Oh, you can second it.
second,
Renee?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley?
yes.
Mayor Morgan?
Yes. Resolution 22-13.
I have a question. Do I read this whole resolution?
Just the title.
Just the title? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Resolution number 22-13, a resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Gulfstream, Florida, providing for the appropriations of budget revenues and expenditures in the general fund for the fiscal year ending September 30th, 2022, providing an effective date.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve resolution 2022-13.
Second?
Renee?
Commissioner Smith?
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley?
Yes.
Mayor Morgan?
Yes. Resolution 22-14. Mr. Nazar, do you want to just explain what this is?
Yes, sir. Thank you. So we have a sort of a redo tomorrow of the rezoning, which is the empty lot, approximately 4.3 acres, immediately sharing a border with residential properties in Place El Soleil. So we prevailed during the first go round. There was a lawsuit that essentially said that they did not hold the hearing properly. So the Delray city attorney advised and the commission agreed to sort of redo the hearing. During first reading, they had a lot more attorneys there conducting cross-examination of myself and our residents, which they're entitled to do because it's quasi-judicial. And one of the questions was there a vote from your commission to allow you to speak on behalf of this ordinance? And I said, well, I have their support. I've spoken to them a number of times. I update them every month. And Chet Snavely, the HOA president over there, when I sat down, did like a little chicken scratch note that was like, make sure you get approval. So this is really just authorizing and expressing the town's position, which is opposing the rezoning from general commercial to automotive commercial that I've been talking about ad nauseum for many, many months. The final hearing is tomorrow, so I'm glad that we can get this approved and submitted for your approval in advance of that hearing. And it's just essentially agreeing with the decision that the city commission made the last go round, which is to deny this rezoning based on what's contained in the ordinance. It's incompatible, and it's an inappropriate location for an automotive dealership, seeing as it abuts our residential single-family properties.
Right, what we want is a single-page formal resolution from the town that can be presented to Delray Beach and their commission. Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve?
We approve.
Second.
Ms. Bassett?
Do I need to read it?
I guess you have to read the.
Read the title.
Could you read the title?
Yes. Okay. A resolution of the Town Commission of the Town of Gulfstream, Florida, opposing City of Delray Beach Ordinance number 21-22, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
I'm sorry, let's, just to make sure we're clear, is there a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
I second.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Orthwein,
Yes.
Commissioner Lyons,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Stanley,
Yes.
Mayor Morgan.
Yes. Any comments?
I have one comment.
Yes.
Thank you, staff. Thank you, ARPB, for all the effort that went into these last two applications. It was tremendous progress, and I think it was a very effective process as we drove. And so we had two applications that were ready to be approved. So I think that was great.
Yeah, no, well said, because I thought it worked out very well. It took a little while, but getting the ARPB on the same page as the commission, I thought was as important as getting those two homes right. If there's nothing else, thank you for coming. Meeting's adjourned.
Make sure you stay and sign these.
Yeah, sign everything, Paul.